Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening again to you and you and you. It is another fabulous evening. It's been quite some time since we've been on this late. So, to those of you that are watching for the first time, or perhaps you're watching and you're trying to figure out where in the world had this chick been, welcome to another moment of elevation moments with Victoria. Now, that's me. I'm coming on tonight because there's a lot of things that's happening in the world, and I think there's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things, and that we as a people have to be more concerned with those people that we are dealing with. And so tonight, I want to talk a little bit about a little brief subject: what your current situation can do, right? And the reason why we want to talk about this particular issue is because a lot of people are experiencing things in their life right now that maybe you and I don't understand, right? Or either it could even be this right here. Sometimes the situation at hand would cause you to think, but why am I experiencing this? Why am I seeing this? Why are people not understanding it? And sometimes we get into situations where people sometimes feel like that we are inadequate because of how we react to certain things. To those of you that are watching by YouTube, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much to those of you that are watching through the channels of Uncensored Conversation. Thank you. Please reach out there to someone and tell somebody, hey, look, Victoria's back. She's back. Tell somebody to come on and watch, listen up for tonight's topic, because I do think it's important for all of us to experience this, right? And so I first want to say that, Victoria Elevates will be coming back. We will be doing the morning moments coming back probably in the next couple of weeks. We've been taking a break. I'm kind of waiting for people that know we're going to be on. Kind of waiting for some of them to tap in. But the fact of the matter is we will be coming back. We have been doing some behind the scenes work, if you will. And so we're coming back probably in a couple of weeks, and we will be doing the lives again. Many of you have been asking about it. Many of you have been saying, "Where have you been? Why can't how can we get in touch with you?" Da, 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 da. So I'm back. We will be back doing the lives. I can't tell you exactly what time right now. We'll make a formal announcement about that, because some things do have to be done in silence, and so I want you to understand that that's the reason why we choose to do that. But at the same token, there's a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes with Victoria Elevates, and we're going to continue to produce whatever we have to produce, and we will bring things to the forefront when it's time to bring it to the forefront, right? Because if you're a part of my positive self-building class, my course, my students, you already know that one of my key things that I talk about is those 3S, and that 3S is silence, for strategic plan, for God to show up. And so we're not only just talking about that thing, but we're also experiencing and we're walking into it. Because a lot of times you can create things and you don't walk into it, you don't walk with it. You continue to move, but you don't actually exercise the very thing that you talk about. And so we're doing some things behind the scenes. We got some things coming up. We have some events that we have coming up. We got some things that people are going to be, we're going to be sponsoring some events, and that those events will be shared here. You'll be able to find out more about it. You'll be able to see more about it. With Uncensored Conversation with Elevated Not Tolerated, we're bringing it back full bloom. We've taken a couple of weeks off for other things, graduation, 4th of July, doing the last month we got ordained under the new church that we're under. And so we went through that process. So we had to take a couple of weeks off of that. Then a couple of our guests got sick. And so there's been a lot of things. So we just decided just kind of breeze things out. we're going to end this season kind of a little bit on a floating out kind of stand. We will be doing about a couple of weeks of just replays of all of the good things, all of the good interviews that we've had here on Uncensored Conversation the last couple of months. We will be bringing those back so that you'll be able to see that. We do have some guests that will be joining us. We got a couple of people that's going to be co-hosting with us. I know a lot of you enjoyed it when we had Donnie Got the Beats was our co-host a couple of months back. People enjoyed that, and so we're going to be bringing that back. We're bringing some co-hosts on. We're actually going to bring some people that are getting ready to walk in that avenue where they can actually test out the waters, if you will, as far as being hosts to shows, because I believe in the one way that we impact other people's lives is that we give them opportunities, right? And so we're going to be giving opportunities for people to do what they want to do best. And so just stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up. As we've told you before, if you really want to stay in tune to what's happening with Victoria Elevates, then you need to go over to one of those pages, either Uncensored Conversation or Elevated Not Tolerated with Coaching and Motivation Services, or the best thing is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you'll be able to see and follow what new things are happening. We've had a lot of people say, oh, we see that you've got a new book out there. Actually, we've done 2 books so far. For 2023, we revised our old journal. We brought that back out. The sales with that were really good, but that's in the reworks of being made over again as well. We also have the new book, and we'll show you that later. The 40 plus. We've got that book out there right now. It's on the market. People are saying, well, why? And so one of the reasons why we're talking tonight is that we want people to understand that you got to keep moving no matter what situation you find yourself in, right? So let's get into the topic. I don't want to hold, because you can always go back and look at the replay. Those of you that are coming later, you can come back and look at the replay later. I don't like to hold. I work very well with people, places, and things. But one thing I won't do is that I won't waste people's time, right? So many of you reached out to me after I posted about being in a meeting on last night. And some people were laughing. They said, oh my God, what happened? Nothing actually happened. The good thing was this. The good thing is this. We were at the last minute last night. We had done some work on some projects that we're working on, and we got a phone call from the young lady who actually is who wrote the forward in this book, called and said, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get on this Zoom call. I need you to fill in for a coworker of mine who can't be on. And I was like, okay, cool, because y'all know me, any opportunity to open this big old mouth of mine, I'm going to jump right into it. And so we came back on. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining. Congratulations to you. You got some good stuff going out there too. Michelle B. Hammond is one of our supporters. She pushes us. She empowers us to keep on doing. And there's no competition with her and I. I love to see all the great things that she's doing. She's doing some amazing work. If you haven't catch Michelle B. Hammond, please do out there and check her as well. I tell y'all, we got some great people out there that we socialize with. My good friend, hey Kay, thanks so much for joining. My friend Kay Clark is going to be coming on the show. She is in August. She's going to be taking us out in the month of August. She's going to be sharing where she has been in these last few months. Because I truly believe in us working behind the scenes and doing certain things. Hey Deborah, thank you so much for joining, my friend out there. I appreciate you so much, and I must apologize. When I read your message earlier, I was right in the middle doing something, so I didn't answer you right back. So I do apologize. But thank you, ladies, for joining us on tonight. And like I said, we're not going to be out here too long. I want to touch on this because I think it's very important that we as people understand. Because, like I said, these ladies that are on right now, they're business women, they're podcasters, and yeah, Michelle said something very prophetic right now, profound, excuse me. Women can work together. We don't have that crab mentality. I don't even like that phrase, but it kind of, everybody kind of deals with it. So we don't have that crab mentality. We support each other. We push each other. When Michelle does something, I try to post it. When I do something, she gives me high fives, and that's what teamwork is. We're still going to be doing the collaboration versus conspiracy conference that is going to be coming up. We just haven't set the date. We got a lot of things behind the scene happening. But I want to go ahead and talk about what caused us to have this conversation on tonight, because I do believe there's a lot of other people that are experiencing it. And I definitely want I want people to know how to handle these things from both sides of the river. Can I say that? Both sides of the river? Because sometimes we are in positions where we can straighten some things out, but we choose not to because we like people to stay in their struggle. Can I get some? Yeah, I know we can't hear like that, but can I just get y'all to do a thumbs up or something? Because a lot of times we speculate when we shouldn't be speculating, right? So on last night, I got the opportunity to. That's what I was going to do. I got the opportunity. I'm sorry, and I teach that. Do not do that when you're on the screen. But I didn't have my book over here. Last night we did have a good, one of our the young lady that wrote the foreword in my book, Miss Oman, is how I pronounce her. Sal, we call her Sal Oman, invited me to come on and do a pop-in visit. She was a part of an organization last night that was talking, and she said, "I need a fill-in. Can you come and fill in for about 15 minutes?" And they're on the other side of the world. They're in California, and I said, "Sure." Any opportunity for me to talk is an opportunity to do what I need to do. Because one thing that I would tell all of you entrepreneurs is this: every conversation can lead to a consultation. So make sure you're always on your game. We're going to be doing in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing Life Coach Prep 101. We're going to be teaching those of you that are interested in being a coach some of the skills and techniques that you might want to take in consideration when you're being a coach, or if you're going into the coaching industry. And one of those things is realizing that you are always on blast. You always should be prepared to give information to people when you have it. So every conversation leads to a consultation. Y'all write that down. My students, my people that are watching. Every conversation can lead to a consultation. Don't forget that. So you always want to be prepared. So when we were talking, and she said, "Can you get on?" I said, "Sure, no problem." Every opportunity to talk about what we need to talk about is good. So as we get, and keep in mind, I was entering into a roundtable discussion with people that, because usually when you get on a round table discussion, you are given information to be prepared with, right? But this was an on the spot kind of deal, right? So as I'm entering into the room, if you were the virtual room, I find out that I'm sitting in amongst, and Michelle, you appreciate this. I was sitting in the room with other. I was in the room with therapists. I was in the room with counselors. I was the clinical people side of mental health. I was in the room with some people that were doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs. And because of course, I can't mention their names because I didn't get their authorization to do so. Sal, she doesn't mind, but I entered in this room, and I'm as a counselor, and as a certified master life coach, because that's what I am. I'm a professional achievement facilitator. That's who I am. And so, upon being introduced, the first thing she said, and my positive building students, you know what I talk about introducing yourselves. We talk about that. But she said, "Introduce yourself to the people," and I'm like, "Sure, I can do that." So I introduced myself, and they were already into the discussion, right? And so the young man asked me a question. He said, one of the questions that we're asking everybody, and he says, "I hope this doesn't offend you, as because you're a coach, and coaches are X, Y, and Z," is some things he said. And I said, "No, not necessarily. Some coaches may not know their place. I definitely know mine." But he says, "I want to ask you a question. Why you now, and what does that look like? Why you now, and what does that look like?" And he was referring to how, when we get to a certain point in our life, that we don't always continue the process of thinking about what our future looks like. And he said, "So why are you now at the place that you are, and what does it look like for you? Do you?" And so, he says, "You're a coach. Okay, y'all see me. You're a coach. But so what does that look like for you? Well, I'm behind the scenes, I'm doing some things to get into the clinical side, right? Because that's something I've always had a desire to do. I've always wanted to be into therapy and all that kind of things. So, I can talk about a 5-year plan. Everybody should have a set goal of when you want to receive something, when you want to do something, right? And so as I begin to answer the question, I got paused in the middle of me answering and saying, that sounds so like somebody who may be going through something and don't really. And I said, let me pause you. Because just because I don't look like you, see, I'm very forthgoing. Just because I don't look like you and just as long as I don't smell like you doesn't mean that I can't beat you. Right. And what I mean by that is that in the business industry, there shouldn't be a competition. There should be a group of people that are striving for the same purpose. Right. But as I was talking and the conversation continued, it appeared that something was really brewing in the back of my head, that a lot of times people don't understand what it takes for you to get up, what it takes for you to move into your next. Because I can look at, Michelle and Deborah and Kay, and I can tell you, these ladies are phenomenal. They're amazing women. They look great. They smell great. They have great positions. They do a lot for their communities. They do a lot for programs. However, you don't know what it takes for them to get up. Hey, Jackie M in the house. My girl, Jackie M. I love her. Jackie, I can't wait to get you on the show, girl. But when I tell you that, sometimes we forget the concept of that people go through a lot to get where they are. Can I be honest with you? If people really knew what it took for you to wake up and touch your feet onto the ground, they would probably really be amazed of how that happens in the backside, right? So as we continue to talk about certain things, I want you to understand that every time you look at a person doesn't mean that they're not good or bad or indifferent. Sometimes we choose not to give up, right? How many of you have said this? And I know we all have, because if at some point we'll make this statement, I'm glad I don't look like where I've been or what I've been through. But how many of you can be real honest and say, I'm glad I don't look like what I'm going through? Because see, I'm gonna let that simmer for just a few moments. How many of it, in other words, how many of us can say this? That when I got up this morning, there was some things that was in my head that was bothering me, but I had to push to another level, right? See, this is the thing. If you got to be honest with yourself or who you are, we did a whole series on Clubhouse about false identities, not being who you really are. We talked about that because it's important that when you are dealing with the real you, and you're wondering why you're not getting some things done, is because sometimes your situation looks horrible. Sometimes your circumstances are eating you alive, right? I want to encourage. Tonight is about encouraging you to, even in the midst of that, not to give up and not to stop, because what your situation looks like right now can't stop you. I titled this "What Your Current Situation Can't Do," because I want you to understand that sometimes people will know your struggles from behind the scene and expect you to be dead and not moving. Okay, please forgive me, because I'm going to say it. Sometimes people love to see you in your struggle. Sometimes people don't expect you to climb out of your pit. They expect you to stay in the pit because it's more comfortable to have you in the pit versus to be out of the pit, right? That's the reason why the Triple S is so important, that you keep silence in some situations and circumstances with some people, because some people don't need to know what you're going through in this season. Okay, y'all can't say amen. But when I tell you that sometimes the very thing that you are going through is what you need to be able to experience some things with. Can I be honest with you? There's sometimes people just need to understand that you don't have to give up. You don't have to shake in your boots every day. How many of you actually know that if people knew what was behind the scenes of what you were going through, that they may not be able to receive what you got? See, this is the thing. It's not about being fake. It's about keep on pushing even in the midst of your going through season. See, that's some of us are in a going through season, and the only best way that we know how to deal with that is to keep on moving. Can I get you to see what going through your season right now is important, and what your current situation can't do? Your current situation can't keep you from moving. You keep yourself from moving. What your current situation may be looking like on the other side of the river is not what's going to keep you. You cannot allow your current situation to stop you. What your current situation can't do is make you look sad when you don't want to be sad. See, I don't know about you, but there's been some days that I really, 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 if I looked like what I was going through, you wouldn't want to be listening to me. And that's the time that you sit back and you say, look, give me a few minutes to regroup myself. How many of us out there tonight know that sometimes the regrouping process is hard, it's challenging, it's something that if you really, 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 really got down to the nitty gritty of it, you would be struggling with the thoughts of it, right? What you got to understand is when you're looking at someone, don't always be quick to say, oh, what, I heard that you was going through a dark place. That's okay that you heard it. But your next statement should be, but I'm here to help you get out of it. Right? Don't always expect the person that is going through to walk around with their head hung down. Because I'm going to tell you, baby, when you've been through domestic violence and all that stuff and you come out of it, you've been through homelessness and you came out of it, you've been pushed aside on every side and you survived it. You learn how to smile through your deepest, darkest storms. You learn that. It is important that we as people learn how important it is to be careful what you say to someone else, because you never know what somebody else is going through. What your situation can't do is talk negative to you. In other words, I say this to my students in different workshops. You got to learn how to talk to yourself. Right now in my positive self-building class, the next segment that we're going through with understanding your worth is this. What language did I allow you to have to speak to me? Can I be honest with you? There's some things that we got to go back and rechange about what the access that we have allowed people to have. Did you give the proper access so somebody will know how to talk to you? Because what you can't do, what your current situation can't do, is talk negative to you, because I'm not giving you that authority to do so. See, some of us are giving authority to things that we shouldn't have, and that's the reason why we're in this struggle. I'm going to need you to get out of that struggle place, and I'm going to need you to have a little positive conversation with yourself. But in the midst of having that positive conversation, I'm going to need you to set your guidelines and your boundaries of how people can and will talk to you. So, because what your current situation can't do is take you any lower than you already feel. So you gotta move from the back seat. And this is one of the new books that's coming forth. You got to move from the back seat of your car, the back seat of your life, and move to the front seat behind that good wheel and start turning it. See, some of you are waiting for somebody to push you that really doesn't have an idea of how to push you. So you got to learn how to talk to yourself, because what your current situation can't do is take you back down where you came from. I don't know about you. I don't know who I'm talking to on tonight. But what I can tell you is this. What language you talk to yourself is what's going to matter. If you start talking all this stuff, well, if I had, if I could have, if I went in when I should have, this is not going to help you get to your next level. Can I be honest with you? There was a part in my life recently that I said, oh, wait, man, I got to give this up. I can't, there's no place for all of this. And that's when God spoke and said these words to me. You will not die full. I know it's cliche to say it now. People are saying it all the time now. They think it's something big. I'm not a big cliche-ish person. I make up my own words. How about that? I make up my own statements. Asking any of my students, they'll tell you. Kay laughs all the time about the stuff that I say. So check this out. But when he gives you an assignment, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks anyway. You're not going to die full. Okay, so let me break that down to you, what your current situation can't do. Your current situation can't take you out of your purpose. I wish I could. I wish I could hear y'all, because what your current situation can't do is knock you out of your purpose. Why do you say that? Because I got to continue to talk to my purpose. I got to keep enlightening my purpose. I got to keep telling my purpose, baby. My purpose keeps saying, look, baby, you ain't got, you can have 30 seconds of pity party, but after them 30 seconds, you got to get back into the game, and you got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on moving. See, what your current situation can't do. With your current situation. Hey, Miss Shanika, look, all of you that are popping in, I please apologize in advance if I'm not showing up your comments, because this is a 2-man show some days, and today is definitely it. But this is the thing. Can I be honest with you? Some days your purpose is going to speak to you louder than the people that's in the room beside you. Why? Because your purpose knows where it came from. Your purpose came from the great almighty God, right? So he gives us a power of choice, but he's not going to let you die in this season. You still got to keep moving. You cannot say to yourself, I'm not worthy, if he's already said you're worthy. Because if look, y'all, let's be real. We say all these great things in the pulpits. We say all these great things in the choir stand. We do all these great things on these motivational shows. I've done them. You've done it. If you ever, we always want to say this. It's not about me. It is about you, because he created you to be an article of what he needs you to do. So it is about you. So your purpose is going to continue to talk to you. Your purpose is going to make you do some things that you don't want to do. So you say, well, what does that got to do with anything on this side of the river? Well, this is the thing. You're going to always have somebody to tell you that, baby, you should be sitting down with all the hell that you're going through. Can I be honest with you? You can sit down if you want to, but you're going to still have a place where you still got to move. What your current situation can't do. Your current situation can't change your purpose. Your purpose can only be enlightened. Let me say that again. Your purpose won't change, but it can be enlightened. I just taught the purpose class, and this is the thing that is clear. Whatever is embedded in you to do is what you're entitled to do with the access that you have been given. So what you can't do is change your purpose and say, I'm not going to do that anymore, because that's not going to happen. I apologize if you thought it was, because when you said yes to your purpose said, oh my goodness, you mean I got to move mountains? Yes, you do. So what does that mean on the other side to the person that is looking at you? So you got to understand that even in the midst of what you're doing, somebody's always watching you. There's always a big eye that's looking down on you. Can I be honest with you? There's somebody watching you because you are the connection to their next level. You can't afford not to be who you are. You can't afford not to stand on sturdy ground and keep moving. You cannot allow yourself. My good friend, Dr. Peterson, is in the house. My girl, I tell y'all, she's an amazing young lady. I love her. When I tell you that your purpose will start talking to you in the middle of your night, at 3:00 in the morning, some of you are getting up because everybody put your hand up like this, because everybody does it. Everybody does it. You get up at 3:00 in the morning and you're struggling because you don't understand why you're struggling. It's because your purpose is talking to you. Oh, my cousin-in-law, she out there. Hey, Kimberly, tell my brother I love him. When I tell you, when I tell you, sometimes when you're waking up at 3:00 in the morning and you want to be all, let me just tell you, some of y'all are faking the funk a whole lot. You're faking a whole lot, but I'm not mad at you, right? Imposter syndrome. That's what we talked about this a couple of months ago in the Clubhouse. I'm not mad at you. When you say, oh, the Lord had me wake up at 3:00 in the morning. No, the Lord, you did wake up. Thank God. Because some of you would have died in your sleep from the battles that you're having in your sleep. Talk to somebody who wakes up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing I don't think about is not praying. Because I'm gonna tell you, sometimes you be lying, and you need to stop lying and let's be real. Let's have a conversation about being real on tonight. Because what your current situation can't do. Your current situation is waking you up at 3 o'clock in the morning because your current situation wants to find a solution to the problem. The solution to the problem is that you need to adhere to what your purpose is, and let them other jokers fly by the nest. Because guess what? Okay, all right, Kim, I'm glad I got you on my back, girl. I'm glad I got family standing with me. See, this is the thing. When your 3 o'clock nonsense wakes you up, you better have some backup plan where you can ask God, can you please come and intervene? Because in this season of our life, those 3 o'clock moments are important. Now you say, well, Vic, now you're going against what my pastor teaches. Well, my pastor, I know he's out there somewhere. He's traveling. Yeah, my brother on there. Y'all don't mess with me, because my brother's on there. I'm telling you. See, this is the thing. You got to understand who is talking to you at 3 o'clock in the morning. You just can't act like you don't know, because you do. See, I'm gonna tell you something. Let's stop trying to be a fixer, because you're not a fixer. The fixing came from God. He is the fixer. He will allow us to have resources to find out, right? The topic tonight is what your current situation can't do. Your current situation can only do what you allow it to do, the access that you give it to, right? See, this is the thing. When you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, are you looking at your purpose? Or are you whining about it? Raise your hand. See? Raise your hand. Raise your hands, children. Raise your hands. Because this is the thing. Your purpose is waking you up, because it knows if you keep on sleeping on it, that you're not going to do it when you wake up. About 3 months ago, God gave me a breakdown of 24 hours. And I'll be more than happy to share it with you at no cost. But I'm not going to share it with everybody, because hey, my little cousin, the Miller out there, how y'all doing, girl? She's so sweet. Y'all follow that little young lady, because she be giving us some words. Love her. See, this is the thing. Is your purpose following you? Is that what's really waking you up? Is because you're mad? Because your purpose woke you up to remind you that you had some work to do tomorrow? Because your current situation don't look good. The bill collector is calling you. The doctor that got an appointment. See, I can say this about my good friend tonight. Sometimes people are in your life for a reason and a season to make you strong. But your purpose sometimes will wake you up and say, look, wake up, Vic. Wake up, Vic. I need you to go back and read that business plan that you just wrote. Vic, I need you to wake up, because during the day you got sidetracked about everybody else's intentions for you. So when God gave me that breakdown of the 24 hours, it was most intriguing to me, because one of the things that he showed me was, if you only give me X number of hours that you are donating to me, and again, I wouldn't be more than happy to share with those who want it, because it was very eye-opening. Alvin, it was like I had a light bulb that just went off in my head. But when he gave me that breakdown of those 24 hours, and then he said, you know what? I'm not requiring a whole lot. What do you mean, God? I've been told I need to do this for you. No, because if you spend the quality time that I have allotted you to spend for me, if I tell you that you need, I'm just gonna say this, okay? I'm just gonna be like this. I'm just gonna tell you like this. See, this is the thing. If God says to you, I want you to spend 12 hours today with me, what do we do? Oh, I know all of y'all got it, right? You're going to say, oh, I spent the 12 hours with them. You're lying. The first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. We have to get clarity of what God wants us to do. At some point, I was talking to a young lady about my business, and she said, Victoria, you got to get by yourself, so you hear intentionally. Thank you, Kimberly. You got to be intentional about which one of the services that you're going to offer when, right? This is the thing. God will download to you a lot of things, but some things that ain't meant for you to act on right now. Sometimes he is preparing you for your next, right? And so as I begin to think about this 24-hour period and what God has allotted to me, I said, well, God, I get the hours that you want me to spend with you, but I'm not too sure about these other ones. You're giving me a lot of me hours for personal. You're giving me a lot of time for work. You're allotting me some social time. You allow me for some business. But God, this don't equal up to me spent. He said, if you spend 2 hours with me, I'm going to be in everything else. I just need you to commit to 2 hours with me. If you can commit 2 hours with me, I will walk with you with everything else for the remainder of the day. Those other 22 hours, if you can commit 2 hours with me, two. See, he is a God of choice, y'all. Because guess what? What your current situation can't do is confuse you about who you are. Now, let me give you another feedback. Let me give you another little tidbit. Some of the reason why we get upset about people talking about us is this: the access that you have given them. I just told you there's a whole segment that I'm getting ready to, well, I'm teaching in my class, but I might do a little brief of it before y'all hear. But guess what? You got to understand, what access did you give somebody? Because if you spent that quality time with God, he would give you the language that you need to use with somebody. What access did you give them? Because see, this is the thing. Look, Dave, this is the thing. If I gave you permission to talk to me like a dog, you're going to keep on talking to me like a dog. Well, let me just tell you, y'all that know me, know that Mahalia she don't take highly to some dogs talk. She just don't. But at the same token, if I gave you access, if I allowed you to talk to me, but I didn't give you the tools to know how to talk to me, you're going to talk to me any kind of way you want, right? Let me tell you what your current situation can't do. It can't allow you to talk to me any kind of way anymore. Look, I kind of dislike this in churches now. Tell your neighbor such and such. Can I be honest with you? I don't want my neighbor talking to me because my neighbor don't know my situation. Oops, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. My neighbor may need to be encouraged, but I may not be the person that needs to encourage my neighbor, because I need the encouragement myself first. So look at yourself and say to yourself, what access did I give them? What did I allow them to know about me that has caused them to think that they can talk any kind of way to me? See, sometimes you got to watch what access you give to people. What access my brother has to me. Girl, D. See, this is the thing. There's things that my brother can call me, because I call Alvin my brother. There's things that Alvin can call and say to me that you can't. He can call me by my nickname, but if you call me by my nickname, first thing what you're going to get is how you know what my nickname is. Because I don't give access to everybody to that. If you watch me and Derek on Saturday, he calls me Vic all the time. And I tell him he's the only, not many people are allowed to do that. Right? See, this is the thing. You got to understand, what access are you giving? Because all access ain't good access. My godson he says this about money. All money ain't good money. Right? All free money ain't good money, because it invites in other things that you don't need. Can I tell you what your current situation can't do? If you allow the wrong access, your current situation is going to look worse on the other side. Can I also encourage you, my friends, what your current situation can't do? Because some people will see you moving forward and they will say, honey, I heard. See, this is the thing about your hearing. Your hearing only receives what is put in it. It's like that intro to the computer, right? It only implements what you put in it. My father used to say, I got 2 ears, one to hear and one not to hear. And he would often say, as the one that he doesn't want to hear in, he would just close up. He would just put his hand over, right? Doesn't it? Why? Because if you are hearing things that are not accurate, it's going to throw you off. Can I give you another tidbit? Because I said I'm going to be here on this long. Can I give you another tidbit? Let people think whatever they want to think about you, because it really doesn't matter. Dr. Peters, I like that. Dr. Peters, I must have learned from you in an early stage because I'm starting to change it every chance I get. There's some people I just can't give access to anymore. You can't have it. See, this is the thing. Can I be honest with you? Why should I allow you to tell me how I'm supposed to react to my situation? I mean, who gave you authority to tell me how to react to my situation? I may be going through a hell of a storm. And some of you that know me know in my past, I have gone through some hailstorms. Hail storms. I have gone through them. However, when you get on here, you see me shining, you see me smiling, you see me laughing. You see me doing what I'm supposed to do. You know why that is? It's because what my current situation can't do is keep me from seeing my manifestation in process. Somebody write that down. What my current situation can't do is stop me from seeing my manifestation come forth. That's if you don't give the wrong access to somebody, because giving the wrong access to somebody will cause you to clam up and close your eyes to your manifestation in process. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got too much going on in my life to allow what you think I should be doing to keep me from getting my manifestation. See, I'm gonna tell you right now, the manifestation was already in process before I knew I had an issue. So you got to go deeper in these things, y'all. We got to go deeper. You got to go deeper in this, right? You talk about I'm sitting back and I'm waiting for my I know the Lord done worked it out. I'm just waiting for the manifestation. What you waiting on? It was already created before you was even born. Open your eyes, smell the coffee. I'm sorry, did you miss it? Because the manifestation is already in process. The reason why you can't touch it is because your brain is too cloudy with all of the things of the negative excesses that you have given. The reason why you're still struggling with certain circumstances is because you're giving the wrong access to the wrong people. Can I also encourage you to reevaluate what's attached to you? See, let me say this again. Let me inform you that maybe you need to evaluate what's attached to you. One of the things I teach my students is this: when you right here, that's my space. That's my space. Don't anything over here. That's atmosphere. That's atmosphere. This is my space. Have you ever walked up to somebody and they just get in your face like that? Oh, well, that ain't gonna happen, because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask you nicely. I don't need COVID to be the reason why I tell you to step out my face. No, I don't need that. COVID ain't got nothing to do with the reason why I tell you to stay out of my face. Yes, I've had it. Come on, brother. My brother in the house now. He talking like his uncle, my daddy. You gotta know when to turn off your hearing, because if you keep letting everything go in your ear gates, what your current situation can't do. Tell somebody what your current situation can't do is listen to everything. I was told a few weeks ago, I was told the other day when my book came out, somebody said, well, you said that you've been had that out. No, that's not what I said. Watch your words, because the books have already been written. I just hadn't published them. Oh, was that what it is? Was that what it was? You had yes, I did. I didn't need to wait to see what somebody else was doing to what I needed to do. What I had to tell my current situation is, because I'm in a current situation doesn't mean that I can't go ahead and move to my true purpose, because the manifestation had already taken place. The transcript, the draft of the book had already been done. It was already manifested. But baby, I didn't push the button to hit send until I realized that what I was connected to what I was connected to was sabotaging my next move. That's the next book, by the way. When I'm telling you is that you have to be able to speak to your enemies in such a way that you cause as atmospheric change. I want to say this softly. You have to learn to speak to your enemies to cause an as atmospheric change. And the reason why I'm slowing down with this because I had COVID and some things that still are hard for me to say and do. But when I tell you, when you put some people in their place and deny their access, when you remove that go to hell card off your back, I apologize to any of you saved and sanctified folks that didn't know that the hell was in the Bible, because it is. You sometimes got to pull that card back. Because on that, what is on that card, it says you're going to try to, hey, Alvin, do you remember what my initial sermon was? My initial sermon was 15 years ago, was this: leave me the hell alone. And I'm talking to my brother because my brother came all the way from Charlotte just to walk with me on my imaginary tightrope. Ooh, Alvin, I just got to chill. Leave me the hell alone. You're not going to, what your thoughts about me is not going to cause me to lose my purpose and all of the destiny that God has in me. When God spoke to me and said this a few days ago, you will not die. You're not going to leave here full. And I said, God, I've heard that. I've heard that, God. People say it all the time. But I'm not ready to die. I just need to get to a place where I can produce. He said, that's what I'm trying to tell you, dummy. You're not going to leave here full because you got to push out all of these babies, because there's some more babies that I've impregnated you with that you got to get rid of all of these other babies out of the way. You are walking around here holding yourself hostage. That's another book. There's 3 books. But you're holding yourself hostage. You're sabotaging your own self because you're waiting for somebody to pump you up. See, this is the thing. I don't know about you. I don't have an idea of what God has told you your purpose is. But what I can do is I can help nurture you. I can help put some sunlight on it. Because, baby, just because you're going through hell and high waters don't mean that you get to stop working on your purpose. Just because you may not have the house on the hill because you're living in a 1-bedroom shack, let me tell you something. That don't mean that you're not going to get to the other side. It just means, baby, you got to keep working your purpose. I'm not going to leave here full, y'all. I got a whole lot more babies to push out. When Sister Combs, I'm telling you, he said we're not leaving here full. If he called you to a plan, if he called you through the purpose, oh my God, if you're going through the pain, see, there is a reason why we're going through some of these pains. I'll tell you something. I keep asking God, hey, look, wait a minute, did you forget? He said, I didn't forget nothing. But baby, you ain't leaving here empty. I mean, you ain't leaving here full. School. Oh, Alvin, I can't call you. Alvin, you better hush your mouth now. What are we taking to the grave? See, somebody's gonna be real pissed in the next couple of days because I got 2 more books that I'm gonna be hitting the publish button on. They're just in the final stages because I'm self-publishing on myself. But they've been in the inbox. They've been in the file folder for 3 years. 3 years. 3 years I've been holding something back that could have helped you get on the other side. One of the books is talking about people pleasing because that's part of our problem. We are people pleasers to the point that we're suffocating who we are. What your current situation can't do is please everybody. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. What you people, what your current situation can't do is allow you to keep on pleasing people and not please yourself and God. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. People pleasing it goes from the pulpit to the corner store. When you going to learn to please God and you? Because what your current situation can't do is please people and win. See, somebody said, well, you know, Victoria, you saying all this stuff, but I know you didn't. Yeah. See, I go back and look at a video that I posted this morning. The young man said this, and it was so profound. He said, I'm tired of you. I'm going to paraphrase. I'm tired of you telling me I can't do something because you think God can't use me? But you hiding your... Look, if you are a very transparent person, ain't nothing wrong with that. Just be careful. I always tell everybody, pray before you speak. Because I have spoken sometimes, and I've cut some people's throats spiritually because I was angry. So now I'm very cautious in what I say. This is the thing. Your current situation can't please everybody. There's some people that won't watch my lives anymore because I done kissed their tail from the pulpit to the corner store. I can't help that. That's not how God gave me. My ministry is not about people pleasing. My ministry is about helping people elevate to their next level. That's why I don't talk like you do. That's why I don't look like you do. That's why certain things aggravate me, because I'm not you. And baby, you're not me. See, Sister Combs. Sister Combs, I'm going to need you to hook up with me, because we might have to do a combination. Because, yeah, Sister Combs, I mean this with all sincerities in my heart and everything that I'm speaking to you right now. Don't sit on that. Don't sit on that. Don't sit on it. Because when God started telling me to push this book out, when he started pushing me with it. I can tell you the name of it. So I want you to look for it so none of y'all don't steal it and use it. Stop walking on eggshells. I'm going to reveal what people pleasing does. People pleasing keeps you subdued in a situation, in a place while you can't think for yourself. Come on, see, Pastor Peters. Now you're messing. You can't allow people to make you our God when all they're doing is pleasing you. Look, stop it, man. Stop sabotaging who you are. Because, baby, what your current situation can't do is hold you hostage. Do you know why one of the reasons I feel like Lazarus went to sleep? Because study your Bible, he was asleep. Some of y'all been telling it wrong. But one of the reasons I think he was asleep, because one of those things he had to shake off was people pleasing. He had to go to sleep to show him, look, I'm getting up and I'm shaking all y'all demons off of me. It's a spirit. People pleasing is a spirit. Do you want that attached to you? Because whatever's attached to you, you're a dead man walking. What your current situation can't do is die prematurely. What your current situation can't do is die prematurely. Your current situation is here to impact you and to embody in you some things that you got to get done. What your current situation can't do is make you forget who you are. One of the reasons why I teach the positive self-building class, and I promise you, this is not what you call a commercial to get you interested, because I do that every day. I got students that's in this chat right now who've been in my class, and this is the thing. This is the true fact of the matter. I teach the positive self-building classes, self-worth. We're in self-worth right now because there have been so many lies told to us over the years of why we act the way we act. That I'm pulling the scab off. I'm pulling the band-aids off. Ah, ah. Come on, come on, Cam. Kim. Oh, I love my family badge, y'all. Say, I'm telling you, I'm pulling the scabs off. Now, you're exactly right, Kim. Not everybody gonna appreciate us. You know why? Because people can't handle real people no way. That's why the pews in the churches are empty. It ain't had nothing to do with COVID. COVID just gave us a bigger excuse not to go. Huh. I don't want everybody throwing accolades at me. Because you know what? Accolades will pull it out after a while. All I want you to do is do what God gives you to do. Let me give you one more tidbit for tonight. And then I'm going to go because I've been here longer than I need to. Be careful how you use statements, because what your current situation can't do is reverse something that you say. What your current situation is, you can't reverse a statement that you make if you don't understand it. Stop using cliches if you have not dissected it and allow God to give you a clear understanding what it is for you. Oh, let me tell you something. Y'all been saying this, and you need to ask God to show you, because the Bible says study to show you how approved. Ain't that what it say, bro? Because my brother's he's a pastor, so is that what it say? Study so you know what you're talking about. God revealed something to me. Now this might not be for you. It might be just for me. This might be for me. Might not be for you. Check this out. We've been saying, we speak this because it's biblical, right? We say this and then we have no idea what it means. Your name is being spoken in places that you have not even entered. Oh, that sounds so good. That your name is being spoken in places that you haven't even walked in. But do you understand what that really means? That means you got to wake up, because your current situation can't hold back while you're getting ready to go to. God revealed to me, and I'm sharing it with you tonight, because everybody ain't gonna get it. Let me tell you what it really means. Let me tell you what he gave it to me as a directive for my day. He said, every time your feet hit the ground, he said, because you woke up and you decided to everybody, wherever you are, just put your foot down on your floor. And let me tell you what you just did. You just sent a vibration through the atmosphere. See, not all Christian folks can handle it, so I'm going to teach, because then you say I'm not in the Bible, but you're lying, okay? But when you touch the ground, you hit a vibration in the atmosphere that shakes up the atmosphere. See, y'all been saying this old stuff. The devil mad as soon as I hit my feet hit the floor. I don't care if the devil do get mad. That's his job, is to get mad. But when my feet hit the ground, it means that I've touched some vibration in the atmosphere. That I just told the atmosphere, baby, I'm here. Because you know what happens? Vibration goes from one extent to the other. You've been saying all those things, but I'm a tree standing by the water. I ain't moving. Let me tell you why. Because you are a part of the root that's attached to that tree that ain't moving. Let me help you tonight. The reason, and I'm sorry, if I was standing up, I'd be walking. This is the thing. You got to understand that the vibration of what God has purposed you to be has got to hit the atmosphere. Your name is being spoken in places because your footprint, you're showing out. Your footprint can't be duplicated. Did you know that your fingerprint and your footprint cannot be duplicated? Oh, I know technology does all kinds of stuff. I get that. But if you get real serious, Look at an old James Bond movie. The only reason why they took the man's hand and put it on the panel was because it would only recognize the print. My sisters, my brothers, what your current situation can't do is keep you from making the vibrations in the atmosphere know that you still kicking. See, I don't know about you. Look, cuz you say it, baby. We're intent, honey. They like to play us, but they can't. You can imitate us all day long, but you can't duplicate not one. Everybody says my brother, my Scooter, Alvin looks like me and him look like we look like twins when he's older than me and he's my cousin. But you know what? You can't duplicate us because guess what? When you seen one, you done seen us all. But guess what? My fingerprint is different in the atmosphere. You can't. You cannot imagine. See, the reason why the enemy wants to tell you that your current situation is going to keep you from moving to your next is because he knows if he can convince you that you're not worthy, then you will stop. I encourage you on tonight to tell your current situation, oh, baby, I'm still going to get up. My current situation can't hold me back from my destiny. My current situation is not going to define who I am. Because who God created you and I to be, your current situation is only a part of the puzzle to get us there. Okay, let me say that again. Your current situation is on a part of the pieces of the puzzle that you need to get there. If he didn't give you the opportunity to go through this, if he didn't allow you to get, look, we say this to all people. Somebody said to me today, and I wanted to cuss them out. Kimberly, help your cousin-in-law. I wanted to cuss him out. If I hear this one more time, I hope he brought you to it. He's gonna take you through it. I need you to define what that means. Because how do I know he brought me to it? Could it have been something I did wrong that brought me to this situation? You got to evaluate more clearly. Because I'm going to here to tell you there's some things that God has already brought you out of, but you keep going back to it. Time keep on spinning. Okay, I'm sorry. I regress there for a minute. See, some of you are following into a pattern because nobody has told you that you are worthy. Because your current situation ain't going to kill you. Your current situation is a part of your way of escape. You got to go through the hell to get to the other side. The reason why the 3 Hebrew boys, and if you read my first book, the original book, if you read that joker, the 3 Hebrew boys went through that for a reason, to prove a point that we are never alone. I don't get to see my family that often. I haven't seen my dad in over a year. But what I can tell you is he knows his baby is moving. See, when you have a divine connection with your purpose, it doesn't matter if you're dormant or not. Stop allowing what people tell you your current situation is. Because you don't know my current situation. Ask you, Kim, do you and Alvin know what my current situation is? No, they don't. I know they don't. Because I don't tell everything. I used to. Until God set me down and said, you know what? I need you to do these 3 S's. I need you to silence, which means shut up. I want you to prepare for the strategic plan, which is write the vision, make it plain, because I'm about to show up. See, God has a purpose for all of us. I didn't understand 2 years ago while God was dealing with me on these workshops. And then he let me see it. He said, I'm teaching you what to do and what not to do. I'm teaching you how important people's values in their life really is. I've been teaching a positive self-building class for 3 years. No, longer than that. 3 years through COVID on online. 6 years. Wow, guys, been 6 years? 6 years. I've been teaching a positive self-building course. And every year is something different with the same topic. Because you have purpose. If you're not growing, then I need you to look at your situation and tell your situation, it's time for you to let me go. Because you're not going to hold me back. Don't look at your neighbor, because your neighbor might tell your business. Don't look at the person in front of you, because they might tell your business. Don't tell the person behind you, because they may hold you back. Don't tell the person that's beneath you, because they're going to hold your feet in the cement. Tell your inner self, situation, you can't hold me hostage, because I got too much to do. I don't care if you turn off this channel right now. One thing I can promise you is this. If you take control of what God has allowed you to have access to and do not mishandle it or what's attached to it, because see, sometimes you can mishandle what's attached. Don't mishandle what's attached to it. Don't mishandle the people that it's attached to. Because your current situation, he can't handle you any longer. Your current situation can't keep you hostage any longer. So, my friends, what can your current situation do? Only what you give access to it to do. I'm coming back because God said so. See, people say, oh, you were so consistent being on every morning for 7 days. And I was. But see, you got to realize some of those days I was like, oh, God, I got to get up and give the people a word. Oh, God, I got to give them a coaching set. That's not what he said. When I got sick with COVID and I was on my back for 45 days, there were only a handful of people that reached out to me and said, why are you not doing the lives? And that's when God said, you know what? It's time for you to go back to your first love. And I was delirious there for a moment. I said, my ex-husband, are you crazy? He said, no, you're deeper love than that. Your deeper love was your purpose. Why you got up in the morning. Why you decided to get up. He said, you love elevated, not tolerated. You love it. But when it got to be a chore, that's when you lost your love. So he says, I'm coming back. There used to be a song, and I don't know who sung it. It was a quartet that says, you know, the devil, you should have killed me while you had a chance, because, baby, I'm back. Can I be honest with you? I never really left. I just did what he said, be silent. So I'm going to tell you tonight one more time what your current situation can't do is hold you from anything that you haven't given access to. Stop giving access to it. So look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself and say to yourself, self, what did I give access to that people are talking about me? Because my vibration says that I'm going places. Somebody said, oh, we're getting close to the end of the year and I ain't done nothing yet. That's a lie. If you made it to July the 13th, you did something. You gave access to something. I'm just going to ask you to tell yourself, command to yourself, baby, My current situation can't do nothing I don't give access to. I don't care if your pockets is empty. That doesn't mean that you can't keep doing what your job is. I have preached when I didn't have a dime. I preached when I didn't have a car. This past year, I preached when I didn't even have a voice. And that means a couple of things, but I ain't getting it because it ain't none of your business. Just because you ain't got don't mean that you can't do. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. There was a moment. Just because you ain't got don't mean that you can't do. Because he does make provision. See, some of us are looking for money provision because we're without. He's making provision in other ways where he allows you to see that only he can do some things. Doesn't matter who you reach out to. They can't do it if he don't give out utterance to do so. Stop acting like everything's about you because it ain't you. It's about what you're attached to. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to rock out of here. I've been up since 2 a.m. I have re-edited and edited 2 more books. And I'm saying, God, what are you doing? My little cousin. I love my little cousin. She is so sweet. God is the foundation. He is definitely the foundation, D. He is the foundation. He is the main resource. My former pastor preached about, and she was preaching a message about being disconnected, and she used the analogy of a phone, an iPhone needing to be reset. But last year, God gave me a different outlook on that. He said, look at the socket that you plug your cords into. Does it bring out sparks? Or does it just fit in? Yeah, D, I'm no longer with that ministry, but that message right there was tight. That message was tight. I stand on it. Amazing woman of God about that message. But now it's time for you to see if your cord fits that socket. Because you can hit the reset button all day long, but if you ain't got that cord connected to the right connection in the beginning, it ain't gonna matter. God is a God of reevaluation and process. So I say to you, I'm going to pop this up. I want to tell you about my latest book that's out there. The title, and I'm going to just show this real quickly, and then I'm going to let us go. How about that? Can y'all stand there for about 5 more minutes? I'm going to show you what the name of this book is, and I'm going to tell you briefly what it's about, okay? That was so quick, you probably didn't even see what it was, right? The title of my new book is 40 Plus and Fabulous, Embracing the Art of Self-Care with Laughter and Love. I don't know if I can do this. Oh, I can't do it. I never do it right. So go out there. You can see it on my page, but it's a funny book about self-care. I talk to you about with spirituality in self-care and how that all interacts. I tell you some of my own things that have happened. We talk about physical self-care at age 40. We talk about all of this. But somebody asked me, what age could somebody read this book? If you're over the age of 18 and you can read and comprehend, please, please, please go out there and get the book and read it. It's an amazing book. I think you're going to enjoy it. The next book is Dr. Peters. You're going to come back again real soon with me. I can tell you the second book that's coming out is probably in about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be called Stop Walking on Eggshells. Stop being people pleasers. We're going to unveil the people pleasers. The other book that's coming out is Get Out of the Backseat of Your Life and Moving to Your Destiny. And we're going to be talking about what about self-sabotaging. And both of those books are going to be coming out just before you know it. They've been in the process. They've been in the box to complete. And then we're coming back with a reversion of my first book is going to be coming back out. So God has told me that I have to get these out into the atmosphere. I'm not trying to follow nobody, not trying to do nobody else. I'm just trying to do what God say, because what my current situation can't do. All right, guys, I love you. Stay tuned. In the next couple of days, you'll see what was coming up on our Uncensored Conversation. You'll see who's coming and be with us. D, I'm glad that you were able to be with me. Hey, I'm gonna do this tonight. I want you to, Miss Joyce, my little cousin. I want you to inbox me your mailing address. I'm gonna mail you a copy of. I know you ain't 40, but I'm gonna mail you a copy of the new book just for being with me on tonight. So just inbox me. And Miss Combs, thank you so much for being with me as well. We need to talk because you and I need to get to work and getting you pushed on that people pleaser book, because I want to have you on the show when it's done. Okay. Okay. So I normally end in my show by saying it's been my pleasure to be with you on tonight. Thank you for being understanding of the time. But guess what? I want you to always remain elevated and not tolerated. We'll see you next time.